Hello everyone, my name is Rosanna Dorora for short, and you're on to Read and Retry. Please like this video, comment and share as you listen. And thank you to everyone who has been watching, especially those of you on podcast. I appreciate your time you take out to listen. And please don't forget that on my birthday I had a free gift that I gave everyone. You just need to go to the page, like the page and download it. It talked about defining your relationship as the year goes. So we're still on our series on finances, and today we will be talking about the ways you can budget and the different plans. I know some people, this is not a popular topic because some people don't like the fact that there's open policy. But when I say open policy, I'm not saying somebody should be in control of your money, where you cannot do anything again and all. No, you can still have your own bank accounts and all that, but it's open. You know what I have, I know what you have. Now, since we both know what we own, it will be easy. Like I said in the second video, if you missed it, please, it's on the page, you can watch it. It will now be easy for us to plan on what we want to use this finance for. But then again, managing the finance is different from just saying we have an open policy. So how can we manage this finance? What approach can we take? Now there are different approaches, and you take it based on how the temperament of your spouse, how of you two, and how you guys would decide to run it. Now I must warn here that these approaches I want to talk about, it's not for people who are not yet married or people who are just engaged. No, because you see, engagements do break also. But it's something for you guys to sit and talk and say, when we eventually get married, which approach are we adopting? But if you're already married, what approach are you adopting? I'd like to know. And then you can also, if you need to change, or you think you haven't been following any approach, you could pick one of them and follow it. And I think it will help based on your peculiarity, the peculiarity of your marriage. No two marriages the same, and no two people are the same that are even in a relationship. So the first approach is we are equal approach. What do I mean? This approach, people, both male and female, believe that they are equal partners in the relationship. And so what they decide to do is this: I keep my money, you keep my money, you keep your money, even though, and I must say, because in the topic of this series is my money, your money. My dear, when it comes to marriage, there's no my money, your money. It's our money. It's everybody's money. So now, if you're following this, we are equal approach. That means I keep my money, own my own bank account, run my own bank account. My spouse does the same, even though we know what is in each other's bank account. But we have one bank account where it's a joint bank account, where you bring in 50% and I bring in 50%. Now this is not a function, that's why I said you're equal, it's not a function of the male should bring more. No. So we're on equal footing now. You bring 50% of what of an amount of money, not what you earn. This first approach is, if we were to put 5,000 naira or $5,000 into a particular account, you bring that amount and I bring that amount, irrespective of what you earn. That will now go into the joint account, and then from the joint account, we now say, okay, from this joint account, what will we be doing? And please, I must warn, the joint account, I do not mean that joint account where only one person is in control of the account or one person can sign. No. This is we are equal approach. So it's a bank account where both of us must sign before that money goes out. Now you may be asking, what now happens to the other money that is not in the joint account? That is where, like, if you watch my other series, Passion Fund can come from. That is where anything you want to do. If there are some people who say, okay, I will take care of my family, you take care of your family. If you have run that kind of home, it takes care of the other things based on how you run your home. But this approach is just that there is a joint account where you guys sit down to discuss. So in this approach now, the only money up for discussion is the money that is in the joint account. That is the one where both of you put your eyes on. That is where you say, okay, we both brought 5,000, we both brought 10,000, whatever it is we brought. Okay, this is what we have here. What are we doing with it? Where you sit down now to start budgeting and stuff. The second approach is as you earn approach. Now this approach is similar to the first one, but it's based on percentage now, because I may be earning more, or you may be your spouse may be earning more than you. So it's based on your earning. So it's percentage. Okay, in your earning, you are putting 50% in my earning, whether I earn more or less. I'm bringing 50% into the joint account. So it's similar to their other one, but it's not based on a particular figure, on a particular amount of money that should be put. It's based on percentage. And the people that should do this are people who don't, it doesn't matter to them that they earn more than their spouse, whether they are male or female. These are people who have a very good and strong understanding with each other and say, okay, we're just taking based on percentages because of what we need. These are people who have sat down and thought through their financial future 5 years, 10 years down the line, and they know that they need this particular money to run certain things or certain projects. So that's up to them. So it depends. Like I said, any of this approach, you need to sit down with your spouse and discuss which approach you want to take. Now the third approach is I pick it all. This approach, African women love it a lot, where the man does everything, pays for bills, pays for groceries, does everything. And that's why you see when the man will be saying, in my house, because your 1 naira was not there, where the man will be saying, how can you waste my food? I've seen people that their husbands beat them because maybe they threw some groceries on the floor, or if he terms it as waste and all of that, because you don't bring anything. So he picks all the bills, or if there are certain places the woman picks all the bills. So this is one person picks it all. Picks all the bills, while the other person is free to do whatever the person wants to do with their amount of money. A lot of African women love this. So that is another approach. Based on how you want it, you can choose this approach. But the thing is, even if one person picks all the bill, in open policy, you who is not spending anything, your spouse ought to know what you're earning, or to know what you have based on your business, or whatever it is you do that gives you income. Because there are just 5 approaches. So we're going to the fourth approach. The fourth approach is similar to this third approach, but it's shared now. We both pick the bills. It's shared. Maybe the man will say, I will pay for the rent, or I will bring, and the woman will say, oh, feeding is on me, or the man will say, utility is on me, and repairs of the car or buying cars. So you share it. They share. Both people share what they want to take care of in the home. So you see, both partners are responsible for something in the home. And then with this, you don't need a joint account. People can run their accounts by themselves, but like I said, open policy, I know your financial strength, you know my financial strength, and so based on what we earn, based on our financial strength, I will be taking care of utilities and groceries and food, while you will take care of maybe cars, maybe rent, whatever. That is another approach that you can use or you can take when you discuss with your partner. Now the fifth approach is this one, where it's a one income approach. Everybody, it doesn't matter what you earn. You can earn $1 million, I can earn $1. We bring it all into one fund, one purse, and we take it to solve the problem as the need arises. We sit down, we calculate it. This is what we've gotten this month from your 1 million, and for my $1, that means $1 million, $1 is what we have. So what are we going to do with it? How are we sorting this out? You begin to draw a budget. Now, before we talk about the budget, which I will talk about shortly, you must pick one of these 5 approaches. Now, in these 5 approaches, there must always be an open policy. Whether it's one person that is spending it, it doesn't matter. Yes, it's you spending your money, but I should know what you earn, you that you're not spending anything in the house, or me that I'm spending, you should know what I earn, so that you don't expect me to pick up bills that I cannot cater for. So now we go into budgeting. What is budgeting? Is where you draw out a plan knowing the income that you get. Now, you cannot budget when you do not know what you get monthly. There are some people who live off as it comes. I don't even know how to put it. Like, they are not certain of what they can get in a month. With that, you cannot budget, because when you don't know what you get monthly. So this is not for people who are in a business that they know what they get monthly. This is not for people. This budgeting I want to talk about is not for people who are not salary earners. You're not a salary earner, and you're not a business person that has taken stock over the years to know what you get, even if you're approximating, to know what you get monthly. If you just live your life on a reckless stuff as regards finances, you have no regards for finances, whatever you get is what you use and what you do, this will be hard for you to budget, because you cannot budget with something that you do not know what comes in. Now, if you are in the category where you can budget, There are a lot of apps that can help you. We have Tiller app that can help you. We also have Capital. Finance Capital is an app. It's a free app. You go to Play Store if you're on if you're using Android, and it will be easy for you to download it. You can download it and it helps you, especially Tiller. It helps you on an automated spreadsheet, especially if you're a business person. So it helps you know what do I come in, what comes in to my account monthly, and all that. So it helps you, and if you're the type that can afford the money you also get. Can afford you to have maybe a specific banker. You know, there are some people who have stockbrokers that can tell them on how to invest and all that. It's a good one. You can find someone who can help you better advise about your finances. Take your spouse. There is no hidden agenda. In this open policy, take your spouse and you guys sit down and the person advises you on how to invest, advises you on what to do based on the finance that you get. So, budgeting now. There is there are a lot of models, but I'll just narrow them because some of them are all related. There's no need, it will be cumbersome to just be naming all of them. But there's a zero policy budget where you guys don't really budget per se. All the money that comes in, you just discuss it as you see it. As you're seeing it now. Oh, okay, we have $500. What do we do? You both of you discuss and you spend it. I really don't like this part because it does not give room for emergency. You cannot cater for emergency when a need arises or there's a pressing need. You can, especially if you're African, death of a parent is emergency. So many things that are emergency. Somebody cannot spring up to your family and say, I'm marrying, and you know you need to do one or two things. It's an emergency. So especially if you're African, you don't have the luxury of just living your life like that. So as regards finance, you need to do, plan it. But the one I want to talk about, which I think if you follow it will help, is the 50-20-30 budget scheme. It's a three-way bucket scheme that 50% is of whatever approach you follow now, whatever approach that I've spoken before. Let me just use, for example, which approach? Let me say, for example, one income approach, for example. If you're using the one income approach, so 50% of all income gotten is going for daily expenditure. And it can be that daily expenditure, these things come under it. Gross, you need to talk, help a relative, whatever. As in things that you spend on a daily, on a go. Yes, 50%. 20% is your savings. No matter what happens, you must save it. Except it's a matter of life and death. That 20%, nothing comes out of it. And then the 30%, of course, is where it goes for projects, it goes for investments, it goes for when there's new opportunities. Because I've seen some people, while they are not able to create wealth, these new opportunities come, but there's no money on ground, there's no fund on ground. That's because they don't have a saving habit, and that's because they hadn't kept money, for such, situations, to handle such situations when, a new investment opportunity comes or something comes up where they need to invest or reinvest. Because some people, even if you've invested something, you need to expand. Such places is where funds come from. And I want to also use this opportunity to tell people who are in a marital relationship or are premarital and you're planning to get married and all, please ensure that you save. You have a saving culture. It's very important. You must save for the rainy day. Even the scripture tells us to go to the ants and look at them, what they do. You must save for the rainy day. That's one. And secondly, do not have one stream of income. It is very dangerous to have one source of income as a family, especially if you plan on having kids. There's some people who get married and don't want to have kids. That's fine. But if you know you want to have kids, please don't bring in these kids to suffer. You must have not one stream of income, multiple. So if you're a salary earner, you work in a parastatal, you work in government, you're even a politician, stream out, do business, look for something. There are opportunities everywhere. Do buy and sell. It will be able to give you some extra money. So thank you for joining me today. Please share and comment. Let me know your thoughts on finances. Because this is and keep a date with me every Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern European time. This is very, very important because finance is one of the major causes of divorce in the home. So you can DM me if it's more private and you don't want to talk about it on the page. It's fine. But let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know your questions and your inputs and what you want. What you want to contribute or what you want us to talk about. And again, for those of you who have been asking and have been sending me some topics you want me to talk about, please, I'm open for it. You can still send me those topics. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Thank you for being with me. I hope you learned something today. Bye.